What is up, everybody? Today we are back with another video, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of the Monster Fish series. As you can tell, we're going to be taking a look at the Arowana. So, a quick update. We got a new tank, 4 foot by 15 by 18. 15 and 18 are inches. Which we moved the Arowanas into temporarily. I just thought it was a bit of a waste having them in the pool pond. You can't really see them that well, although they do have more space in there. I just thought that since his home is going to be temporary, probably a month, 2 max, that it would be alright to keep them in there. So, Arowana are a staple in the hobby, and they are definitely a monster fish. If you can see the bigger guy, he's pretty big. I got him from my local pet store, which I thought was pretty cool because he'd been there for a month and nobody picked him up. And it was a garden center fish, like it had a fish store on the back of the garden center, and I was quite surprised that he actually stayed there for a month and nobody actually picked him up. So I thought, well, hey, why not pick it up? Yeah, so he's a pretty big guy. Hold on. They've only been moved into the tank today, so they are still exploring around, kind of getting used to the surroundings. He is all the way on the other side of the tank, but if you can compare him to my hand, he's definitely like twice the size of my hand. He's pretty big. I mean, he was pretty big when I got him. So, yeah. Then, the little Arowana that you can see swimming around the tank is the Arowana I got at around 3 inches. I'm going to try and measure him. I haven't measured him just yet. I got him in January, and I do think he's probably 7 inches by now. Late January, so, you know, he's put on a decent amount of size. I finally got him pellet trained, which was a right pain in the backside, to be honest with you, because he just refused to eat pellets. But after moving him to the pool pond and just constantly feeding pellets and sometimes shrimp here and there, he kind of just eventually got the hang of it. So, in terms of what makes these guys a monster fish, the Arowanas come in several different kinds. You have the ones that we're looking at are silver Arowana. You have Asian Arowana, which can range anywhere from 300 pounds to 10k plus. Yeah, they're very expensive fish. You can have Jardini Arowana, which is around 100 pound, 200 pounds, depending if you can get a really, really nice one. You also have the black Arowana, which is a similar species to the silver Arowana, but I don't think it gets as big. The silver Arowana is the most common in the fish hobby, depending on where you get them from. The one I got from my local fish store, I got for about 70 pounds, but he was fairly big. The one I got from online, which is the smaller one, cost me about 25 pounds. So, get them from the right places, they can be pretty cheap, but obviously getting them from online, you take the risk of getting a poorer quality one. I was quite lucky with mine. He's pretty good quality. Actually, I think they're both very good quality. So, yeah, these guys get massive. In fact, they grow pretty fast, especially the silver Arowanas. They grow anywhere between 1 inch to 2 inches a month for the first year, so they can get up to 2 feet in their first year, which means you need a bloody big tank to keep them. Once they're at 2 feet, you know, the smallest I would say is a 6 foot by 2 foot tank, and you know that's really like the smallest tank you should be keeping them in. But yeah, if these guys can get to 4 foot long, you need at least a 1,000 gallon tank to keep them in, if not bigger. Always bigger is better when it comes to keeping fish. You just give them more space. Yeah, so these guys are pretty carnivorous. They can eat insects, pellets, shrimp, smaller fish in the tank. So you just got to be careful that whatever you keep them with doesn't fit in their mouth. I mean, since I've been keeping them with pacu, giant gouramis, red-tailed catfish, baishes, you know, they've been completely fine for the most part. So they are, you can keep them as part of a community fish. Usually people keep them alone because they are a centerpiece fish. But yeah, I think they're beautiful fish. They're not too difficult to take care of. You just need to make sure that the lids you have are heavy, strong, even if you have a net over your pond or whatever, as long as there's no way for them to jump out, because these guys are very keen on jumping when they're spooked or if they think there's food, or just occasionally if a fish chases them around, they'll jump. So you want to make sure that they don't jump out and you lose a fish. These are definitely on the bigger side of monster fish, so it's not for everyone. Like I said, I've already got plans to get a 6 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tank. It's just waiting until this coronavirus lockdown ends. Obviously, if that doesn't happen anytime soon, I can always move them back into the 5 foot pool pond, which is plenty of space for them at the moment. You know, that has about 500 liters capacity, which is almost as much as a 6 foot by 2 foot tank would be. So I've definitely got the space for them, and even once they get to 2 foot, that pool pond will definitely be big enough to hold them temporarily at least. So these two actually have names. I have given them names. The one at the top left is called Dragon, because this is also known as the dragonfish. I thought it'd be just a weird kid thing to do. And then the one on the right, his name is Silver's Rayleigh. If anyone gets the reference, kudos. If you don't, well, that's just for the people who get it then, isn't it? But yeah, these are magnificent fish to just watch swim around. I also want to take the time to do a quick update on this tank and what's going to happen with this tank. So this is definitely not going to be the end-all home for these guys. These guys will be moving into the bigger tank when it comes. I did want to move all the fish into this tank, but the parku are quite big now and there are 6 of them, so they would take up quite a bit of space. I'm still contemplating whether or not to do it. We will see. It depends on how long this lockdown lasts for, because I would like to be able to see them and show it to you guys properly, not just having to stick a GoPro in the water. And so you can kind of see like the giant gourami in terms of size, like how much he's grown since I've got him as well. And also the parku, I mean, they were all around 2-3 inches when I got them. These guys are absolutely enormous now. And I think it'd be really cool, but I am just trying to hold out until we get the bigger tank, and then we can put them in there and we can see them properly. That way I don't have to move them twice. But yeah, once we move these two from here to the bigger tank, I'm going to move everyone from the 120 upstairs into here and make this kind of this cichlid Bisher tinfoil bob tank until they grow out a bit more, and then they need to be upgraded. I think even the Oscar, he'll probably get to about 1 foot, and the flower horn about 1 foot long. They should, ideally, actually, all of the fish, including the tinfoil bobs, can get to up to 14 inches, but the tinfoil bobs I will probably move into the bigger tank, but the cichlids I think I'd leave in here for a bit longer, just because they'd probably be able to enjoy the space a bit more. But I know this was supposed to be a look at the Arowana, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. But yeah, just taking a nice look at them. They're absolutely gorgeous fish. I mean, yeah, these guys are still a bit disorientated because I have moved them around. But yeah, this is a 4 foot tank, so he is probably 1 foot at the max, I would say, maybe less than 1 foot. Fairly big guy. I didn't realize how big he was. When I got him, I think he was about 8-9 inches. But yeah, it's crazy to think that this guy will turn out to be that big. You know, I just bought him that big, so you know, it's just you can expect that. But I've had him since he was a little baby, and it's just crazy. I think he is either half or just more than halfway the size of this guy. So maybe in a few months he'll probably be that size as well. Actually, that's a great illustration. Yeah, this guy in a few more months, maybe 2-3 months, will probably be the same size as that guy if he's eating right and I keep up with good water changes. And I don't know how big this guy will get. He might, you know, he might be enormous by the time we're done with him. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Just hope everyone's keeping safe during this lockdown period. Just be sensible, really, is all I can say. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace out.